Well, welcome everyone. We're very happy to have actually our first live broadcast, and we have visiting with us here Serkong Rinpoche. We're very, very happy to welcome you here, and we were thinking this evening just to have an informal session. We had started actually today recording what's called AMA, which is not the American Medical Association, but Ask Me Anything. So I have learned. And so we are inviting people to send in questions rather than a formal talk. And we leave it up to you. Rinpoche, would you like to, well, for those who don't know Rinpoche, his predecessor, so his last lifetime was one of the, he never liked to be called assistant tutor of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. He wanted to be called what the literal translation of his title was, which was debate partner, debate servant actually, to be more literal. And he was always very, very humble, but also he was a teacher of His Holiness. And I had the great privilege to be his interpreter and student for about 9 years, and with him most of the time, and traveling with him, etc. And also have the privilege to be very closely associated since Rinpoche was 4 years old with his reincarnation, who in his own right has become a very outstanding teacher on all levels for both beginners and for very advanced topics, and has been in great demand. As you said, it's all my fault because we've put a lot of his stuff on, we have a lot of material on studybuddhism.com of his predecessor and of myself, and now of Rinpoche himself, the number 2 in the line. And so he says it's my fault that he is in great demand to be traveling around and giving teachings in different centers. He has just started a 3-month lecture tour around various centers in Europe, and we're very happy to have him here. So, Rinpoche, any words of introductory stuff that you'd like to say?
Okay. Thank you, Alex. As Alex introduced, so there's nothing much to add on that. It's crystal clear. And then it just came out. It's jokingly number 2 sometimes, like a TV episode. Sometimes number 1 is so good, number 2 is not that good.
Yes, but version 2.0 is always an improvement on version 1.0.
Somehow, I'm trying to be do kind of well, but there you guys are giving so much love and care, especially Alex. So it is what I could say from this position where I'm staying is from the position of my predecessor, Tsenshap Rinpoche. So Alex, wonderful teacher, scholar, and how we come to know each other and study Buddhism, family, all the members, so through him. So as I am the kind of a representative or the Serkong Rinpoche, I could say I'm so proud to be once a lifetime as a teacher, and now now as a student, and then also thank you so much for doing all this hard work, but even you will not accept as a hard work because you are enjoying that so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm but but somehow, for a person like me, they're doing the whole day computer stuff and staying there answering all the people's question, and that will be difficult because it is very challenging for me. So for you, somehow with a great spirit, that how it comes in you is a miracle. Somehow it happened. So I'm looking forward to have this kind of energy, so that we somehow can get a benefit out from there. So you are a great inspiration. Thank you.
Likewise.
Okay, so here I talked a little bit about our bond, and so I guess there are people watching online.
Yeah, we
So-
have about 60 people.
Okay, so even though we are not face to face, but your interest, and then maybe you are wondering what I'm going to talk here today. So as Alex mentioned, that is informal conversation, and no tense, just relax, and then we talk. So most importantly, normally Alex would say to his students that why we are gathering here is not to talk about, we are not here to gossip, so to have a tea party or coffee party, but more here we are going to discuss about big things, like somehow we are in Berlin here, people around wherever you are, we day-to-day life we face lots of problems. And then even though people from outside, they look that we are fit, we are doing so well, from starting with the president and prime minister, and then the people who are that kind of the so poor, they all have some common suffering. This is starting from here, I guess. So this I think stage to discuss about it, it is so precious. We have so many solutions to bring out the suffering. Most of the solution to take out the suffering of our mind, it is more like to take out for temporarily, but somehow we have to face the problem again and again. So the question is, sometimes we need to feel, can we solve this problem once and forever? This kind of thing, question really comes to you, then I think Dharma becomes so important. Unless you don't have this question, then even you think that I believe in Dharma, I'm a practitioner, I'm a Rinpoche, I'm a great person, but then sometimes we fall back to the track that we used to bring the solution, and then you think, oh, Dharma is so good, it really helped. But whenever you have some kind of problem, just we become so ordinary, and then sometimes we say, I stopped practicing Dharma. But somehow, that from the first moment you haven't asked the question, how does Dharma really help to bring the solution to the deepest problem that you have? Somehow you feel, for my case, I always ask this question to myself. So why liberation is important? Why to become fully enlightened is important? Why should I take refuge in Buddha? I ask this question. Then I try to answer to myself. And then I bow down to the Buddha. It's not like straightforward, you see a statue of the Buddha, oh, then you just bow down and do all the commitments. It is very important to ask ourselves, are you doing it right? Is it beneficial to you? Why it's so necessary? So then if you don't have an answer, then sometimes what I do, I skip. And then I try to do something else, like whatever I would like to do. Then I ask myself, are you happy enough? Did you get the answer to this problem? And then I come back to my own question, like, yeah, this is not a solution. This is not an answer. So now let's go back to the serious stuff. And then sometimes it really boosts up my practice. Yeah, so now go back to the first thing what I said, why we are here, and then it really becomes so clear what kind of question that we need to discuss here. Otherwise it will be like we talk something not so relevant to the depth of the Buddhist material. It goes more like, I have a problem, I have this problem, and then how to do this. So I have so many friends ask me to help with some their problem. So something like recently when I was in India, a friend was applying for a visa. So he said, can you do a divination whether I can get a visa or not? So he is thinking this kind of is a Dharma question. So which is not. So many people have this kind of thought. So it is very necessary. I think what is this Dharma thing? And probably we in the Buddhism we say, when we take a refuge, our main refuge is the Dharma itself, not the Buddha and not the Sangha. So more you feel Dharma is needed, and then automatically it's kind of like complementary. So Buddha and Sangha, we automatically need it. Okay. So now I will leave the room for question and answer. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Well, one question that came in from someone in the class who is not able to be here today for medical reasons, asked, when somebody has died and they're not a Buddhist, is it helpful to do prayers for them? Mm-hmm. If they don't believe in Buddhism, to offer Buddhist prayers. What kind of help can we give to those who have passed away? Mm-hmm. Whether they're Buddhist or non-Buddhist, or whether they're close to us or not close to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think it really helps, but helps, that means whether it really helps to the person who passes away, but it's more the prayers that helps to the person who passed away or not, but somehow significantly you have to feel it. You have to feel this somehow these prayers is really helping you. So it's more like when you see something poor thing in the news, then automatically what do you feel? You feel like, wish this never happened, wish the good things happened to them. So then with this kind of feeling, somehow directly you get the benefit out from there. it really changes way of your attitude or your thinking. It has to do so much to you. And then here goes the whether it's helpful to the other person or not. Then it is more that what we call it, the power of the faith. And then also when we say why we are sitting together in this room exactly today, this time, some people cannot attend, some people are here, why we are somehow together here. It is somehow it's very funny, because even if somebody wanted to be here, they cannot be, because it somehow has to come with through your cause. The cause has to be not just immediately. Somewhere we have made this kind of a prayer, and then somehow it works slowly. So that when we say the karma, so it's not like instantly it comes and goes. So somehow it has the force that continuously goes, and then time to time it ripens.
So prayer creates a good karmic connection with the person who's died?
Yes, that's what I believe. So that's why I am Serkong Rinpoche here today, number 2. And you are doing amazing thing. If somebody wants to be like Alex, like you, they cannot become like that. So it has to be so much. All the people wanted to become billionaire. I wanted to become billionaire. But even I try, it's not possible. Some people, they don't have any kind of a wish to become billionaire. They become billionaire. So it's not only the thing what you wish now, but this kind of prayer has somehow it's there. So then right cause and condition meets, then it happens, I guess.
What kind of connection do you need with another person so that your prayers can be of benefit to them?
What, can you repeat that again?
What kind of connection do you need with somebody else so that when you make prayers for them, that it will help them?
The connection.
How do you make a connection?
Through Wi-Fi?
A karmic connection.
Just kidding. Through Wi-Fi will be much faster. Yeah, the karmic connection, there could be some like positive, negative, both. And then sometimes, lumaten, how do you say?
Neutral.
Neutral. So like you just go there, you meet somebody like, okay, he stares at you, you stare at him, that's it. You don't make any kind of a connection at all. Some you meet and immediately you have feel like, the first time when I saw him, I felt like some good thing from him or something. We say that, isn't it? So, and then we've been reading lots the stories of the great masters. When, like, for an example, the great Dharma, when he hears about the Milarepa, name of the Milarepa, somehow he felt like, oh, this is special. And then when Milarepa hears about the Marpa's name, he felt something very special. So these kind of things, especially this feeling, it is not like instantly like this. So what are some kind of a cause for that is the prayers. Through the right prayers, so then it happens. So that's why when we have the 7 limbs
7 limb
prayers, so then we have we request to give a teaching. Even the Guru is no more, but somehow we visualize and then request more teaching, more teaching. So this is how we build so strong karmic connection with that, and then somehow meet again, and then he might be in a different form. It is not necessary you recognize that person as that number one is that one, but it doesn't matter. But somehow you don't know who that guy is, but somehow you are getting the teaching. That's more important. My teacher would say, Bodhisattva does not need to recognize he is a Bodhisattva. So there could be a Bodhisattva downstairs in the restaurant who's working very hard, and then he doesn't know that he is a Bodhisattva, but working very hard, making every people happy. Like there could be few people having a problem, but he is the one making them so happy. So this is, I think the karmic connection to be ripened. Is this one, I guess.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Have there been any questions from
Yes, there
listeners?
They have. Elizabeth asks, practicing meditation in Tibetan Buddhism is shine. But
Concentration meditation? For those who
concentration
don't know.
meditation. In the FPMT, we do analytical meditation, but we don't do debate.
Okay.
Do you think that debate can be replaced with analytical meditation?
Okay. So somehow I think analytical meditation very, very important. I'm not saying because His Holiness said that. I'm not saying Lama Tsongkhapa said that, because I think somehow every time we debate, like somebody says it's really good, then we say no, I cannot agree with you. All this starts our debate. But then we do a debate because we wanted to understand something. We need more information. So more information we get, necessary information, not all the things that we normally gossip. No, these are so many unnecessary things we discuss about. But when we talk about single-minded meditation, and then we need lots of information. So like Lama Tsongkhapa gave one reason, which I liked it very much, and which is my teacher's favorite line, saying, in this area, this period of time, at the time of Lama Tsongkhapa, he said, people like to meditate a lot. But when he's saying meditate, is the single-minded meditation. But then I feel so feel strange that these people, some of these people, does not take any interest in analytical meditation. Then the question really is, for an example, if somebody has so much anger or attachment, strong attachment, so these are the two strong emotions that we already are so used to. And this is a great sign that our concentration is very strong. That when we have like anger, so somehow we cannot be angry for hours and hours. We may die of this kind of uncomfortable feeling. But somehow this kind of pattern of the anger somehow stays. And then attachment is very good example how the concentration is very strong. When you are having strong attachment, you don't need to eat, you don't need to sleep, you can stay in the winter time waiting for your girlfriend for like 6-7 hours, even it's minus 25, I guess. So all this kind of this strength, it is showing that your concentration is so strong. But then Lama Tsongkhapa asked this question, well, we have this kind of ordinary concentration, and if we ask that person who has strong attachment, can you bring attachment to that particular thing? Not possible. And the person who is very short-tempered, and if we asked, can you bring anger towards that person, towards your friend, towards your loved ones? Immediately the answer will be no. Why you cannot? Because one answer, no information. I have no information. I have no reason, that's why we say, no reason why I need to be angry with that person. So Lama Tsongkhapa brings, if you don't know the reason why you are going to do the focus meditation on that particular object, then how are you going to meditate on? That is a really good debate, and it really gives you a very clear picture. Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay. So that really helped me then I see the connection. Without the analytical meditation, how much you love shamatha meditation, not going to work. And then it is necessary, when you debate, you should always debate that how you can bring this analytical the meditation, how that becomes a power or cause to bring into the focus meditation. Like few years ago in Hamburg, Study Buddhism asked me a question, saying they have a list. I looked on their question. It looks like a very easy one, and then I said, okay, I can do it. So they asked me a question like, it's a math that you asked the question, which isn't very difficult for me at the beginning. When I answered, it becomes so difficult. The question was, you have received so many teachings from His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and what could be the one particularly advice from His Holiness that you feel so that really helped, and that is a piece of advice that you will remember rest of your life? That was the question. And then I thought like, okay, really. And then I just sat down. It's not coming. It's not coming. So I took a time to think about it, and we skipped that question that day, I guess. So then I bring it, because that time I'm not doing a good meditation. So if you are going to meditate on His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and it is not important to bring the how he looks, it is necessary, like there should be one piece of advice that you feel like, why I have a strong devotion to His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And that kind of kindness, that kind of feeling that you have so strongly, then automatically you feel like that when you hear the name of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, it brings so much joy in you. I guess my predecessor, whenever he hears the name of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, he cries. Again, I guess that kind of cry is not from the sadness, it's the joy. Because through his kindness, he feels so much joy. And then in entire his life to serve him, listening to him, no problem at all. So with this joy, faith, and you make a meditation of His Holiness, it goes very smoothly. Otherwise, just bringing the image how he looks, the robes are like this is the glasses he wears, this is the slippers that he wears, not that much necessary. So Lama Tsongkhapa said very clearly at the end of the, I think this is the praise to the dependent origination. In there he says, there are so many things to remember the kindness of the Buddha. But here I'm going to remember through the kindness of his teaching on talking about emptiness. At the same time, it really deepens the understanding of the dependent origination. It is so unique that nobody in this world has spoken. So I praise you for giving this teaching. So now Lama Tsongkhapa's meditation of Buddha Shakyamuni is so strong. So like this is an example. This is example. So we can think with this kind of this analytical meditation, how it strengthens our meditation, single point meditation. And then in order to analyze your oneself, this one huge brain, maybe I have a huge brain here because I have a big head. So this alone, it's not enough. So you need to have so many information. So more you discuss about it. Sometimes people say, no, this is not true. But then you just think of this. Then you bring this piece of whatever information you are getting. It could be wrong, right, but somehow connecting with the right answer, then you feel this is it. So that actually your opponent's point of view really helped you to get to the right point. So debate is necessary here.
You explained once that other people will challenge you much, much more than you will challenge yourself in analytical meditation.
Oh, yes. Because why? Because they don't need to back away. They wanted to prove something. But for you, you might be like, oh, this is good. Okay, I like it. I'm going to buy it. This is it. But someone will step in and say, no, then he will use all his intelligence to show that what you have is wrong. And then here you go. Sometimes you lose. But you don't make a decision like I will listen to him. But then you take this, think, and then you ask the question to your master. And you get it has been very useful for me. My teacher will listen to it, and then he will give one question. If he says something like this to you, then first of all, from your answer, what will that be? He will listen to my answer. Then he will, if he thinks this is going to be the right track, and then he'll say, okay, you have a quite good answer to that. Now let me bring my information on that. And then it really strengthens yours. The foundation is quite strong.
Thank you.
Should we open it up to the floor here?
Okay.
I would have one, because we have spoken about debate, and in the beginning you said it's important to ask the big questions for yourself and find the answers for that. But in recent times we have so much difficulty in our societies about misinformation. There's a lot of misunderstanding, misinformation going on, and a lot of conflicts arise from people having wrong views. So sometimes, I know the path of Buddhism is to work with yourself first. But my question is, can you give some advice how in this time where there's a lot of controversy over wars, over policy, over where the world is going, how can you like in debate or however possible, how can you manage to engage with people around you in a Buddhist way, and not just for the sake of yourself to change your mind and become an enlightened being, but on that way forward, can you bring something back to society that will help other people, other people's ideas about themselves or their way of life?
When it becomes too politics, then it is very hard, because then you really don't know what to say. Before it becomes too politic, so I think we need to check our motivation. Do I have the right motivation about why I'm saying this? Even that could be this kind of what I'm saying could be hurt some people's feeling, but check with yourself. It is a solution to the problem. It's like a what do we call? You maybe have a pain, and then you need to take an injection, and then normally you're super fine. Even somebody wants to put a needle in you, you say like, "What are you doing?" But when you are sick, you go to the hospital and pay them to put a needle in you. But then your focus is not a needle, but your focus is, I need to get out of this suffering. So similarly, before the politics start, I think it is necessary to check whether you are doing this not only to bring a conflict or to bring a shame to your opponent, but to win the game. It is more like whether what I'm saying is for my country, whether it's for the community. So then checking, then I don't need this kind of, for this reason, I don't think you really don't need the Buddhist point of view or advice on that. But but somehow it's difficult. Somehow.
I mean, what happens when the other side doesn't accept logic or reasoning, and they don't even accept reality? They believe in a different reality. How can you even discuss with them?
Then you have a very difficult opponent, I guess. So then there's one way of saying, Lama Tsongkhapa, saying, I am not afraid to the hundreds and hundreds of wise men, but I'm so afraid to the one, what we call it, Kupa, or
Fool.
The fool. And then I'm so afraid. So this is how I think. But now, if you, in some kind of case where it's some kind of a big stage, then it's there you cannot back off. But of course, you need to check with your own motivation. So somehow you have to learn from it. Because I have a few lawyer friends in India. So I asked them a very difficult question. They're saying, like, if somebody did something very bad, and then they hired you, and now they will give you quite a big amount of money, and then you are such a great fame or name, and then you will try to win this case because you're professional, and then deep inside you feel, I'm supporting a wrong person. So I say, how easy is that for you? And they say, this is our work. This is how we live our life. So we don't think like that. So then it's a little bit problem there. That's a little bit problem. But then also it will be very difficult if you don't win this kind of do this kind of job, then how do you live a living out from that? That will be one. Very difficult. So check your motivation, and then even you have to win the case, but then you need to tell that the person why you are doing it for, not to support you, but somehow you need to show that you are human, and because I'm saving you, that in future that you might not do it again, and then you can have a better life. So all these things, and then it becomes so complete good picture. So some people, most of us, when it comes to the your own personal thing, and then we shut down everything. Okay.
Is there another question?
There is. So Jessica asks, could you explain how renunciation can help us as practitioners?
Renunciation helps us as a practitioner. Okay. Now I think it's very important for all the practitioners who believe in a renunciation. Do you have the complete picture of renunciation or not? Otherwise, time to time when we plan something very big, and you have a strong wish that will succeed and you will get it, but then somehow if it didn't go as your plan, and then so much suffering, and then at the end you will say, now I hate samsara and I really want to get out from that. And then next day he has another solution, and he finds another one kind of, and then he say, now my life is going very smoothly. So I think then the problem is that kind of person, you are not getting the real good picture, the full definition of the renunciation. Renunciation is something my teacher would always say, what is wrong with the samsara? Then my answer will be like, oh, there's lots of suffering there, lots of suffering there, lots of suffering there. Then my teacher will say, do you ever feel taking a rebirth in this life is a huge mistake? And then I go like, I just roll my eyes and say to myself, maybe not. So my teacher will say, the real renunciation is always saying, me being in this life, this form, is total wrong. So that's why when we talk about the three types of suffering, suffering of suffering, suffering of change, and then what's the third one?
All pervasive suffering.
All pervasive suffering. And for that, the last one, which is the most important one, what is the example of this? Is the five aggregates. We just go like, oh, this one, but we never say my rebirth. Rebirth? My rebirth is wrong. So unless you cannot feel this, then you are thinking to whatever word we will think, you will use the Dharma to make your life very comfortable in samsara. And you want to do a puja to find a good job. And you want something to go exactly as you wish. So there is no person in this world, I don't know, maybe there it is, but I don't know anyone who's doing this from my own, that there nobody doing a puja So how to get rid of the suffering and get out of this rebirth? There's no one.
Get out of rebirth in general.
In general. But like, oh, somebody, we look down, then somebody like going on a Porsche with the sunglasses and lots of friends behind. Maybe only one, because these luxury cars don't have many seats. You know? So then we were just like, oh, this is so cool. This is great. I should work hard. So automatically, you wanted to live in the world. You wanted to enjoy in the samsara. So I don't think this way of thinking connects with renunciation. So having the feeling that I don't want to have the continuation of my mind cannot be in this samsara anymore. And then what are you going to take the step, the next step? And then it counts, the renunciation.
Can I make a remark? But I think the difference is that you are not clinically depressed or suicidal. I mean, the difference in Buddhism is probably that you really have worked through what this samsara is, and you make the decision, I want to get out. It's not, I mean, for a lot of Westerners, maybe there's a misunderstanding that a lot of people feel depressed these days, but that's not renunciation, right?
Depressed?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. When you are depressed and you'll be in a lottery tomorrow, and then your kind of depressed is finished. But then you bring with this kind of amount of money to bring more suffering. But that you won't say it, you won't believe it. And then somehow a person who really has thoughts of the almost 2,500 years ago, this kind of a way of analytical meditation will answer for that. So it's more like go in, interview one billionaire, all the billionaire in this world. Are you really happy with this money? And the Dima would say, yes, it's so cool, so great. But then slowly, sitting with them, they have an answer, which they are not so doing well.
Next.
So our next question is from Verinan, who says, he has a question about love and relationships. And what kind of practices do you think are the most effective for dealing with disturbing emotions related to relationships and love, like envy, jealousy, anger, insecurity, anxiety?
What are the? I didn't get the whole thing.
Like, how to deal with jealousy,
Okay.
anger, insecurity, anxiety around relationships, love.
Oh.
Partner type of relationships.
Okay. In order to protect that.
No, when you are in a relationship with somebody, a girlfriend or a boyfriend, how do you, you get jealous and you get possessive, and you feel insecure and so on. How do you work with that? How do you get over that?
Okay. That sounds like it. Staying perfectly in a samsara. Just kidding. So I think expectation, I think. One of the expectation when in the relation you feel like she or he is a right person for me. Okay? And then when that right person becomes doing something wrong, and then the pain starts. But the first time when you labeled, this is so good, this is so right, this is so 100%, and then I think you cannot bear the problem of what is coming next. So when you are in a relation, you should be always what we call it, prepared. When you buy a computer and then they will ask you, I don't know about the Mac, but for the other like Windows, they will say, do you like to install antivirus? So then more you updated the antivirus, so your computer is safe. So it's more like getting ready. So when you are in a relation, so you need to be prepared for what is coming up next. So the most why the relation does not stay very strongly, especially in the West, I think when we talk about we are equal, okay, very equal, and then automatically that equally is with not much understanding of equal. It's more like you can do it, I can do it. I don't need to listen this to you, from you. You are not my teacher, or you are something. So every time this kind of conversation becomes like very straightforward. So I think when you feel like that person whom you with, he or she might have this kind of a weakness or anger issue, then you will be the one person to back off a little bit, give her a space, and then once cools down, you are the first one to dare and to comfort and to give kind of a good explanations. Not that you will fight. It's more like putting a fire on a fire. We have a good song from Sam Smith, Fire on a Fire. So if we have this kind of awareness already, not only in the relation of that, relation with the teachers, relation with anybody, your parents, and then somehow we use this connotation of understanding, right? We say understanding. So if you bring this kind of awareness from the beginning, then the understanding is already there. So otherwise, when everything starts boiling and then you say understanding is needed, then it's not going to happen, I guess. So from there, I think you can control jealousy, you can prevent anger, whatever. So there is a solution for that, I guess.
Anyone in the room have a question? Rami?
So, thinking about the state of the world, how it is today, I think a lot of people feel afraid because of all the conflict, all the dangers that are kind of looming close to us. My question, going deeper, as you suggested in the beginning, is how can we actually understand this fear? Is it something to get rid of, like the other disturbing emotions, or is it something that we should somehow pay attention to?
The world problem, I didn't really get that.
What is the fear of?
The fear of the state of the world, that there might be a war, or there might be conflict or political problems, and we live in this kind of anxiety state of something bad can happen to us.
Okay.
You don't know what will happen.
Oh yeah. So you don't know what is coming, then why you need to worry? Just kidding.
It's a good point.
Worrying too much. But anyway, if you look at the shape of our world at the moment, it looks like anything can happen. Or it's not like it's in the future. It's like we can feel the wave or the heat already. Sometimes I feel too late. But anyway, but if you look at your own, the quality of your mind can be so strong. mind can be so strong. I have an example for you. Few months ago, one Israeli guy wanted to see me, and then I gave him an appointment, and then he came to see me, and then he's around his 30s, and he said he's from Israeli place there is called kibbutz. So then he said when this big attack happened quite recently, and then he is with his two small daughters, and then he's playing with them, and then he suddenly heard this shooting, and then he ran off with his two kids in his arms and running, and then I think few terrorists noticed that he's running, so they start shooting, and then the windows break down and everything, and then finally reached to the bunker. They have the bunker there, so he tried to close it, and somebody tried to open it, and then finally he got a time to lock it, and they start shooting on the door of the bunker, and then several times, almost an hour, they try to break in, but he's holding the door so strongly, and before there is so much fear, and slowly the fear ends, and then he just felt like he could not feel his arms, and then he just go into the one kind of a meditation state. That's what I hear how he explained. And then there's no fear, but then the children asking, what is happening, Papa? And then his response was, you know, in the game, how the bad and good guys are, so we are playing a game. That was his response to his kids. So then after 9 hours without water, and then slowly when he thought this is safe, then he slowly walked out from that, and then first thing he saw was one dead baby on the road. Then he slowly sees his childhood friend who recently became father was shot dead, and then whole the place is full of smoke, and then he cannot believe this is his own place. And then for a long time he never had a kind of hatred. That's how he said, no hatred for the Hamas. But then he said very clearly, maybe few years ago I went to Tushita in Dharamsala to do a meditation. At that time meditation really helped me to connect to my mind very strongly. So why I need to be super angry if I can control my own emotions? So this kind of a meditation somehow staying looking into your own mind. This somehow happened when this attack happened at this moment, because he's so tired, and then he's all the distraction stopped, and then his concentration strongly went. So he is feeling this is the very powerful meditation he got. So this is why there's no room for hatred to others. So then whenever he sees some Muslim and other people, there's no hatred at all. But because he had this trauma, whenever he hears some kind of a language of Arabic language, or some kind of a, when they make name of Allah, then sometimes fear comes up. So he came, after maybe 3 months later, he comes to Dharamsala to explore around with the permission from his wife and family. to look for an answer how to bring out this fear. So we discussed about that a lot, and then when I felt like how beautiful that even this thing happened, but he says proudly, no hatred. So I said, can you, whenever you get a time to go on the stage and give a talk, can you give this message to the people? Because all this problem in the world started because from the hate. Even you say, I forgive, but hate is deep down in you, then maybe this is finished, the story already kind of ended maybe centuries ago. But it is like a zombie. Once again, it will wake up. So because the hate is not gone. So this hate passes through generation to generation. So this is how Israeli and Palestine, and then Russia and Ukraine, and you can now copy paste to everything. So this is very important. So look at this guy. This guy, I shared with some of my friends. This is like, if he shared this to some of his close friend of like Israeli Buddhists, they will look down on him. How dare you can say this? But who wins is himself. He can be walk into the Arabic country without any hate. There you go. But not with his passport, maybe. Just kidding, just kidding.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
So we have a question from Abhishek Joshi, who says, could Rinpoche please explain how the studies of Buddhist psychology could be used for the social good, for the benefit of society?
This I leave for you. You can do that.
I see.
I think the answer you gave before actually fits very well to this. Yeah.
It's
I don't know how to put this on.
you can hold it, or maybe this is the main one, isn't it? Okay. Okay.
Well, the Buddhist analysis of the mind, how the mind works, and so on, is, of course, very beneficial, and it explains our emotions, how we understand things, and so on, from quite a different conceptual framework from the one that many of the ones that we use in the West. We don't use just one. How does it help society? I mean, you can't. Society isn't a thing that is sitting out there and here, society, I give you this, and so on. You can make the information available to society, but somehow you need to translate the concepts into ways in which the society, people can understand it, but then it's up to people to actually use it. And I think that it's very beneficial to look at whatever problems you might be having as an individual or as a society from many, many different points of view. So if you have many different conceptual frameworks, you have many Western conceptual frameworks, you have the Buddhist conceptual framework, you have other conceptual frameworks, from other religions and philosophies and so on. It gives you a broader picture, and in that way, when you look at it from many, many angles, many different points of view, then things become much clearer. I would answer it like that.
Actually, Alex, could you link it with engaged Buddhism?
Mm.
So how Buddhist psychology, they ask, how deep studies of Buddhist psychology can be used to better society, especially with engaged Buddhism.
Well, I think, Rinpoche, do you want to answer? Engaged Buddhism is, how do we actually engage in society in terms of helping in orphanages and schools and old age homes and stuff like that. I think that it's very helpful for staff who is working in these institutions, for them to be able to deal with their own emotions that come up and so on. If they find that the Western conceptual framework is not helping them, and if they need to look at it from an additional point of view. But you can't say that one conceptual framework is going to necessarily work for everybody equally. But I think the more different ways that you look at something, the better opportunity you have. And especially when you are dealing with very challenging situations, whether it's schools, old age homes, and so on, it is, the emotional health of the staff is going to affect very much, how they're going to treat the people in the institution. So, like that.
So the next question.
Oh, I need to add a little bit on that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, please.
Can I? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Alex. So first of all, I think we need to ask ourselves, why do we need a Buddhist way of approach to what? What was the question? Engaging.
Well, the understanding of the mind and so on, how does that help engage Buddhism? In other words, in terms of working within society to help others.
Yes. So to help the society, what we can offer? So I think it is a very necessary for us when we talk about bodhicitta, but somehow we include all sentient beings, but sometimes it is difficult when it comes to the reality. It is difficult, but somehow to connect with the sentient being, there's only one way. This is the bodhicitta. If you want to connect with them, otherwise you're saying like I'm thinking of the entire this Germany, and somehow your compassion, your love becomes quite narrow. So, because more you can expand, it is not necessary you do something, but to expand the mind has no kind of limit. So why you are making your mind very limited? So expand your mind. Like even you pick up one small ant, you can smile and then say like, I really wanted to help you. That really brings some happiness. Even it is not necessary you are going to make this small end give fully enlightenment at this moment or not, but it brings you kind of so much happiness. So that is one through the preciousness of the understanding of bodhicitta. So then engaging into the day-to-day life practices or helping others, then like other religions are doing very well. Like if you look at His Holiness Dalai Lama would say that so many things, how social work that they are doing, we need to copy it from the Christians and some Muslims, how they do it. We need to copy that. But then Buddhism's unique quality is His Holiness Dalai Lama always emphasize that when we talk about 3 scopes, so on the first scope, this is not the uniqueness teachings, but on the second scope, then we talk about this is connected with the first question, I think, the renunciation. For yourself, what is the best solution to get out of the suffering? And that you wanted to give this to everybody. And there you go. That becomes the one unique thing about Buddhism. So whether you can do it or not, whether you feel like you can bring liberation or fully enlightenment in this life or not, but thinking this uniqueness is so great. Without this, whatever I do, I will fail. With this, I will 100% win. So it doesn't matter you will win this life, next life. The beauty of bodhicitta is, that's why I think when we talk about 22 different kinds of bodhicitta, right? Mm-hmm. That all the way of how we expand this mind, not necessarily correct. In order to bring this aspiration, then we need all this. There, for example, there is a bodhicitta called shepherd-like bodhicitta. Right? Shepherd-like bodhicitta. Shepherd-like bodhicitta means I will let all the sentient beings get the fully enlightened. Then I will get the fully enlightened at last. So that way, what really helps you is to reduce the pride. So connecting with this, with the Geshe Langri Thamba's 8 verses of Geshe Langri Thamba, the second one, it connects. So we need all this sort of thing to motivation. If this is going to work perfectly in your life or not, it depends on the people who call I'm a Buddhist practitioner. So you yourself call a Buddhist practitioner, and especially Mahayana practitioner, especially taken a bodhicitta vow from His Holiness Dalai Lama the Great. And now you go to the office, and then you are the most angry person in that office. And you are the most upset person in this office. How does that fit? So now, then you need to think very carefully. You are not really enjoying your own life, and then how will you bring happiness in other people's life? But you could be the one person who goes and drink a coffee and gets some strength from the coffee, at the same time boost up the energy of the bodhicitta, and goes back and ask for forgiveness if you have done something wrong. If something you haven't done wrong, but you are ready to bring so much love to others. And then you cannot make everybody perfect. But you can be so perfect to fit in everywhere. So then I think at the end, whatever you put so much effort, at the beginning nobody will praise you, look upon you. But at the end, and when there's some kind of things shining, then people will admire. Like Alex, look. For 30, 40 years in India, nobody knows what this American guy is doing in Dharamsala. So now Alex Berzin, one of the most praised scholar in this world, especially in the Western world. So he didn't become this great like instantly. So, and he didn't do it to become famous. That will be so much suffering. So somehow he always says, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed doing this. This is so good. And then he is enjoying it. And then now this is how we all are enjoying it. This is kind of sharing his own energy. This is somehow we can put like, this is power of yours. So, like every now in this world, somehow people know Tibet or Buddhism or not. People, when they hear Dalai Lama's name, or then go like, he's a good person. I like him. How does this happen? So we need to bring this, and then you go start with your family, not from office, maybe. Start with your family, start with your partner, start with your children, and then let them one day ask you a question. Who are you? How do you manage this? And then you can sit down and then bless them. That's the real how to bless them or bring inspiration to them. Okay.
Maybe we have time for one final one.
Okay.
Maybe a quick one.
Okay.
Jack asks, how can I skillfully manage an excessive rumination habit? Which means, how do I stop overthinking?
Oh, okay. We had that discussion like yesterday or today?
Yesterday.
Yesterday, right?
Ruminate is like a cow, choose and choose and choose
okay.
and choose.
Uh-huh. So, I think when we say overthinking, we need to ask ourselves, that overthinking is really helping you or closing you down. If this overthinking means you are like studying, you are meditating, you are bringing some solution to the problem, then overthinking is good. You need more information. You need to explore more. But somehow, if this is not giving you any good, and then you're still thinking about it, and then take the advice from the great Shantideva. So if this is not going bring any change, that was a very famous quote. Help me, Alex.
Well, you have to give me some clue. I can't read your mind. Tell me a famous quote.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It's saying, why so worry?
Right. If
Right.
you
Mm-hmm.
if you can't do, if you can't do anything about it, why worry?
Yes.
If you can do something about it, why worry? Just do it.
Just do it. So that is the one of the key to unlock the overthinking. So whether it is helpful you or not. So mostly I think overthinking it is known as for negative thing, I guess. So then you really need to ask to yourself whether this way of thinking, if it is something to that I can fix it, and then I need some solution, I need some kind of advice, then do it, because we need to overcome this problem. And if this is something cannot be fixed, and then you just going like, why this has to happen to me? This is the favorite mantra right, of ours. Say like, what this has to happen to me, and repeat this for 1,000 times. Nothing is going down. There's not a solution. So just move on. Don't cling to that. So I think the Jack, you can over this one. Jack, you can do it. I'm doing it. You should do it. We all should do it. It's a teamwork. Okay. Okay.
So, thank you very much, Rinpoche.
Thank you.
This has been very helpful for all of us, and we hope that you will come again and again.
Sure,
and,
I will.
share your experience and knowledge and wisdom and compassion with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Please live long.
You
Live
too.
long and prosper. as
You
they
too.
say.
You too. So actually, the request of living long is for you. For me, not guarantee, cannot guarantee, but somehow no problem. So for you, now I'm very happy that came to know that Alex taking care of his health very, very, very good by himself. But still, you need to take care of your health, and you need to so much kind of inspiration have to, to as we say, semke, to broaden your mind.
Broaden your mind.
Broaden your mind. So say, it's too early to say goodbye because I have so much things to do. So then, please, whatever practices you are doing, whatever you need support from your students, whatever I can do for you, we are always with you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so you live long, and your birthday is coming up in
Yes, in December I will be
so
80 years old.
yes. So I'm the first one who's going to wish you a very happy birthday.
Not in Germany. In Germany, that's a superstition to wish you happy birthday before the day of birthday.
No. I'm not going to wish you in Berlin. I'm going to wish you from India.
Okay.
Very
good.
Apply.
Well, if I can share with people the secret. The secret is to be free of limitations, especially self-imposed limitations. Because I've always felt this. If I don't have any limits in what I can do, then I can really show you and use all my potentials. So we all have tremendous amount of potentials, but we limit ourselves. External things can limit us as well, of course. But if the external circumstances are not overwhelmingly limiting us, the main thing, this is part of the bodhicitta, that you want to reach the state in which there are no limits in terms of your mind, your heart, your physical ability, and so on. then you're able to fully use your potential.
That's
And
true.
so this drives me very much, that, there's so much more that I can do.
That's true.
So there's like that. And in terms of renunciation, very, very helpful to be an old person. Because if you think how horrible it's going to be a baby again, and to wet your pants and not be able to talk and not be able to walk, and then you have to go to school again and you have to learn everything again, and you can't do anything really productive for minimum 20 years, probably 25 or 30 years. That is horrible. And that really gives you, when you talk about, wanting some alternative from rebirth, not to have to go through that horrible limitation of being a baby again. My God, who would want that? So this, I think, is the key to renunciation.
That's true. That's
And
true.
it helps to be an old person when you are facing that could happen very soon. Anyway,
Yeah.
enough. Not my show.
Yeah, very well said. Thank you. And then on this stage is perfect to say thank you for all the Study Buddhism people who are working very hard. And there are so many translators who are helping to build this our website very beautiful for other people. And then as like these two gentlemen behind the camera, we cannot see their face, but they are doing a lot. And then all the people who are putting so much effort in working. So I would really like to say thank you very much. You are the guys who are making Alex very happy.
Well, that's true. Not that that's your aim.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone, and please keep continuing. And then this the journey of website and benefiting the sentient beings is our goal. So we do it. Okay, shouldn't stop. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Like to hear.
Bye. See you.